Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we are covering month 6 on this carnivore journey. Let's get started. In my last carnivore video, I weighed 225 pounds and today I weigh 210 pounds. So I've lost a good amount of weight in that time frame. I went back on the carnivore diet full blown about a month ago. And it has been fantastic. So for me, I learned that I cannot deviate at all. So I have to stick very strictly to carnivore. I can't have pickles. I can't do any cheat days. I can't risk it. I also recognize that, like, there was a restaurant that I was getting, they have ribs, and even though I don't get the sauce on the ribs, they're cooked in a sauce, so there's still tomato residue, as I'll call it, left on the ribs, and I react to it. So I've started noticing those type of things because I'm a little bit more strict and things like that. So this month has been kind of a learning process for me. I have figured out that I crave a lot more beef than I do anything else. I love chicken wings, but I think that for me, I need to watch how many of those I eat because I need to balance out my nutrition just a little bit to make sure that I'm getting all the nutrients that I need, and getting everything I need in my diet is important. I'm gonna be kind of watching that a little bit closer this next month. And starting this month, I'm also limiting my dairy intake pretty severely. So I had already cut out eating cottage cheese as a side and limiting to just hard cheeses. This month, I'm also cutting almost all dairy, other than actual grass-fed butter, and limiting the amount of heavy cream that I have, just because I'm trying to see if that's holding on to a little bit of weight and if my body's reacting to that as well. So I'm trying to limit to seafood and beef predominantly, with of course eggs, and then just limited amounts of butter and heavy cream. That's kind of how my diet's been going. I'm feeling better. Inflammation that had started creeping in again is gone. I talked about my hair loss. My hair is starting to grow back in, so I get flyaways a lot now. But I've got a good solid inch of growth, which is fantastic. I knew that would happen once I cleaned my diet back up and wasn't eating wheat anymore. It's a big culprit for me, and the carnivore diet really is a solution for that, for me particular. I know that's not everybody, but for me, I have to stay carnivore if I want to keep my hair. There are a lot of new subscribers. Hi, my name is Megan. I like to post things about my lifestyle. I am a carnivore. I am still learning about this process. It is a journey. And I also post product reviews and just vlogs and life in general. Our life is a little bit chaotic. I live with my husband, Tommy, our niece, Kaylin, and we have 3 dogs and 2 cats, and we live in Southern Ohio. And it is a little bit wild at times, but life is an adventure. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe yet, do me a big favor and hit that red subscribe button along with the bell notification and the like button, and then share it with a friend. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm and gets us out to more people. I would love to grow this community and have more of you around. I am working on a project and am going to be releasing that soon, so just keep hanging in there with me, and I can't wait to share that with you. Now let's transition over to talking about Ozempic. So I was still transitioning down off of Ozempic in my last monthly update of Carnivore. Some of you may know that I stopped taking Ozempic about 2 months ago, almost 3 months ago. And that is going really, really well. My appetite has returned. I don't have any really side effects that I've noticed from that, thankfully. I know that's not everyone. My sugar is maintaining where it's supposed to be. I have a good appetite, but not an appetite that's not manageable. I'm using Carnivore to manage my satiety and the feeling of hunger and things like that. So I'm not hungry all the time, which was a fear of mine when I was starting to transition off of Ozempic. I was scared that it was going to be that I was hungry all the time again, and that I wouldn't be able to get full, and that it was just going to be this never-ending battle again, and I was going to be back where I started and frustrated and not able to get control over my binge eating and unhealthy food habits, because I have a really poor relationship with food, and that's not been the case. And I think part of that is because I started Carnivore with the Ozempic and was able to have a solid eating plan in place prior to completely stopping the Ozempic. I still do not recommend starting Ozempic. Personally, I think that it can do a lot more damage than benefit. I recommend trying the carnivore diet first, and maybe not strict carnivore. Try it with dairy first. Try it even dirty carnivore with spices and pickles or different things like that, and work your way down. But give that a try before just relying on a shot, because the shot is expensive, I promise, and it's got some side effects and things like that that weren't the most pleasant, and could actually be kind of dangerous at times. So I really heavily recommend against it, but that is for you and your doctor to discuss, and for you to decide as an individual, and to make that choice as you see fit for you and your lifestyle choices. But for me, now that I'm off of Ozempic, things are going well. I don't have any long-term effects that I've noticed so far, and I'm going to keep trekking this direction. I've been monitoring my sugar because that was something else that I had dealt with, was low blood sugar. My blood sugar has been trending in the mid 80s to low 90s, which is right exactly where I want it to be 2 hours after eating. And so I am quite happy with where that is. My ketones have been in the 1.5 to 2 range, also 2 hours after eating. I'm quite happy with where my numbers are, and I am just working on adding in movement, learning how to work this body and strengthen this body so that I can continue using this body because this body moves different than it did even a year ago. So we're learning to navigate. I'm also learning how to dress this body, because one of the big things for me is that, yes, I'm 210 pounds, but I've also lost clothing sizes. So when I started this journey at 298 pounds in January, so it's now October. In January, I was 298 pounds. I was wearing a size 3X in shirts. a size 24 to 26 women's pants. Now I'm down to 210 pounds with a size medium shirt and a size 14 pants, and it's interesting to try to learn what looks best and not gear towards the larger clothing items. I had to learn how to shop again, like where to shop, because I hadn't shopped in a normal clothing store for so long because it was so hard to buy clothing that fit my body. And so I'm learning how to dress again, and learning that I can buy things just off the rack and it will actually fit, which is a strange sensation. But so these are all things I'm navigating. Something else that I wasn't expecting was losing shoe sizes. So I went from about a 9 in shoe size at the beginning to now I'm down in an 8. And that was weird to me. I didn't know you could lose shoe sizes. Not just like swelling of feet, but like actual like length of foot shrank. Weird. But overall, I'm excited for where this journey is going. I can't wait to keep taking you along as I'm learning. I've learned to cook more pieces of meat than I ever knew before. I'm learning how to shop for pieces of meat because that's been something that's been kind of interesting and difficult here locally. We live in a food desert and our meat selection isn't the best. In my last video with my husband, we talked about purchasing a freezer and buying a side of beef, and we are really talking about that because it's so important for us to have options and be able to purchase quality meat, because when that is the bulk of your dietary intake, and for me it is like my only dietary intake, I need to really consider what I'm putting in my body and make sure that I'm getting quality and things like that. So I'm in the process of figuring out what freezer I want. We've talked about even possibly putting in a walk-in freezer. I don't know. We'll see. I'll take you along for whatever we decide to purchase. And I'll show you kind of where we put that and maybe take you on a fridge and freezer tour, because it's interesting on how we store things too, because I try to keep things a little bit organized so that I know what we have. Everybody seemed to like my last $200 grocery budget video, and it really costs about that much for our grocery bill for about 2 months. So I want to do that again, and take you along and show you what I'm doing and what I'm buying. But that's kind of all I have for my carnivore update. I'm just going to keep trekking along. If you have any questions, please post them down in the comments. I'm getting some really good comments and suggestions and things to watch out for. And so I've been doing a lot of research and paying attention to those. So keep those coming. But that is all I have for you today. I can't wait to see you in our next video. But until then, bye for now.